And the table has a whole bunch of the different diseases that are common. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lovely main chapters there. And the idea is that sand is like the Goldilocks zone of what you could have as your cap.
I think what folks are going to find when they get into this is what an absolutely remarkable piece of work it is. There's nothing out there that comes even close to being as thorough, as diversified, while remaining on topic, as valuable a tool both for the scientist and for the hobbyist, and as useful as it will be for people who just want to learn how to set up a natural aquarium. It is utterly remarkable. How many chapters are there?
Oh, let's take a look at our main chapters here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lovely main chapters there. And yeah, there's all sorts of wonderful things. Like, hey, if you want to point me to something right now, we can go take a look.
How about disease? What do you have in disease?
Yeah, we got made a huge table here. And the table has a whole bunch of the different diseases that are common. It's got some of the symptoms, so you can try and figure out what's going on there. And then it's got different treatments and such as well. And we've even got cool things like how do you dose your medicine, or how can you prepare for somebody to help you diagnose what your problem is if you need. Like, you should get, all your parameters and stuff in order to make sure that isn't a thing. Your favorite thing, we can control disease with temperature, right? So here we are talking about ick and things like that. And like I said, with all the citations as well, like here's my 4 different citations for controlling ick with temperature. It's a thing, all right? We got plenty of people out there backing it. I can just click that link, and then it'll take me to my reference section here, and I can see like, oh yeah, here we go. Blah blah blah. I can't Latin right now. That thing, it's there, and we can go ahead and we can see what that study is, and if you wanted to go look up more, you could, and then you can again click the link, and it goes right back there for you. Talks all about all your disease treatments and stuff.
That's amazing.
Let's see, if somebody says, why do I have to use sand?
Ooh, okay. This is taking us to the reason why we want to use sand. Really, the big thing for why you want to use sand is there's these 2 things called porosity and permeability. And so if you're using gravel is obviously a pretty big particle size, right? And so what it's going to do is it's going to allow lots of things to flow through it, because the gravel, even if you pack it down, there's going to be big spaces between it. And the idea is that sand is like the Goldilocks zone of what you could have as your cap.
Explain, Ryan, what the value of it being an ebook is.
The ebook thing, man, that is it really is something, because I honestly hadn't had any ebooks or anything prior. I just, I've got all my wonderful things. Like, here we go. We got a copy of, the Encyclopedia of Tropical Fishes, that big old thing, right? Axelrod on that. And then I got things like, limnology or whatever sitting around here. But with the ebook, it's such an interesting thing, because you can bring in all the usual technology things that we're used to nowadays, where you've got lovely links that'll just take you places. And in this case, for the book, like, if there was a citation like, hey, Wetzel said this, and you can just go ahead and you can click on Wetzel's name, and it takes you right to the reference section, and then you can see exactly what the paper was or book or whatever it was that was cited, and then you can just click on their name, and it'll take you right back to where they were. And so you can use it in both ways. They're reciprocal in such a way. So it's really a huge advantage. And then we've also got a bunch of external hyperlinks and stuff. Most of those are towards the end, where it's like, hey, if you're looking for, iNaturalist or something, because you wanted to go see like if there's any alder around your area, so you can go get some alder cones off the ground or something like that. That would be a thing that you could do. Some of our our best fish sellers, and of course the Father Fish store is linked in multiple places and stuff too. But yeah, it brings in the harnessing of the word ebook.
That's so exciting.
Here's one of the more useful things. For instance, let's say you've got one of our common questions that we see every day on the shoal. You can just go ahead and, like, hey, what kind of sand can I use? And then boom, you hit it and it takes you right to that section. Hey, here's the kind of sand you can use. And then if you want to go right back, you just hit it again and hey, you're right back. So yeah, that's super for having on your phone, for instance. Like having it on my phone at any point in time, be like, oh yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm helping out somebody on the shoal or something, and I can't remember what did that type of algae like, and then boom, I just hit over to my algae table, like, okay, that algae likes these conditions, and oh, here's some things that eat it, here's some mechanical things you could do with your tank, and boom, you're just ready to go. And you could do the same thing with, if you were at the fish shop or something like that, you just pull it up on your phone and there was a particular tank that you really liked, and you can go right to the list that the owner has listed all of their plants, their animals in it. You'd be like, hey, shopkeep, what do you have? Do you have one of these? I need one of these right here. And boom, you can make it happen.
That's awesome.
This is far more accessible, far more usable, far more reader friendly than any hardback book possibly could be. Spend $29 and get it and begin through it, and you'll discover soon enough how remarkably valuable a tool this is going to be in your hobby.